Hi, everyone. My name is Jade Stevens, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. I graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills with a major in public relations and a minor in advertising. I also went to graduate school at USC, where I got my master's in business with a focus on marketing and business analytics. So I can say one thing about public relations is if you pursue a major in PR, you're definitely going to be writing a lot. And what I mean by that is you'll write a lot of, 3 to 5 page papers to practice your skills in writing op-eds, but you'll also write shorter form assignments, which include blogs and social media. And sometimes you may even write talking points or scripts for people that need to record videos. And so if you're not really confident in your writing, or if you just don't enjoy writing different types or different forms of writing, you might want to consider another major because that is a core skill to have in PR. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 tips to help prepare you to really succeed if you are planning on majoring in PR. The first is join a student club that is related to PR. So some examples of that might be a marketing club, a business communications club, or the one that I joined, which was PRSSA, which stands for Public Relations Student Society of America. And the cool thing about PRSSA is it's a national organization with chapters across the country at universities. And their goal is to provide students who are considering a career in PR with resources, trainings, and access to people who are already working at PR agencies to help prepare them for a career in PR. The second thing that I want to recommend is internships. So I loved having my internships while I was in college. I actually did 2. And the benefit of doing an internship is it really allowed me to get some early experience with what PR could look like as a job before I really had to commit to getting the job. So as I said, I had 2. The first one focused on event planning. So I was working with a client to host informational sessions to talk about different health insurance services and opportunities that were available in the local area. And then my second internship focused on social media. So I was responsible for putting together captions, creating content for another account. And honestly, they were both really different. And that allowed me to really think about, one, the type of team I want to work on, the type of work I want to do, and honestly, even the industry that I want to work in. My third tip is to try and take on a leadership role or volunteer to offer free communication services to someone so you can see what it's like to do it on your own. So while I was in college, before I could get an internship, I reached out to friends and families and honestly just nonprofits that I read about in the local area, asking if they needed help with any type of public relations or communications. And I was surprised with the response that I got. A lot of people asked if I could help them create flyers. They wanted me to help them to create websites. And then also they wanted help with getting interviews with media and getting articles published in magazines. And so I'll be honest, a lot of the times I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was pretty straight up with them and told them that this is an opportunity for me to learn and I want to practice and, do the best that I can with you. And so that really helped, again, prepare me for those internships. And then it gave me even more experience that I could reference when I went to apply for a job. So I've been working in communications for the past 9 years now, and I've really loved the journey that I've been on as I continue to build my career in communications. But there are some things that I wish someone would have told me to kind of prevent some of the barriers and roadblocks that I had along the way on this journey. One is I wish someone would have told me how not personal things are when it comes to receiving feedback and critiques. When I was in college, I really felt like my writing was strong. But when I graduated and started my first full-time job, I got a lot of feedback with my writing. So writing press releases, writing blogs, writing articles, writing social media. Most of my supervisors would, give a lot of edits, and I took it personal. I felt like that supervisor didn't really like me because they always said there was a way for me to improve my writing. But looking back on that now, that was honestly some of the best feedback that I needed. And I actually ask for more of it now because writing, being one of the most important skills in communications, is not something that you should do alone. You can definitely start to build your idea or create an outline, but in order to be a stronger writer, you have to let other people review it and give you feedback, because you need to understand that you're writing for a lot of different groups and different audiences. So I would say be open to feedback and be open to receiving it early, because it will help you move and excel in your career at such a faster pace if you can start to take that feedback and learn how to improve. The second thing that I wish someone would have told me was how fast-paced communications is. Now, when you're in college, you're going to have assignments that are going to be due, and you'll usually have about a week, maybe a couple of days to put something together. But when you're working in communications, your deadlines are usually in a couple of hours, honestly. And so I really struggled in the beginning of my work to write things on a deadline that had to be completed in hours. So I had to practice a lot on my own to be able to write a blog in a couple of hours, or to write some social media posts in a matter of minutes, because things were happening so fast in real time. So be prepared to work on tighter deadlines that are usually shorter than what you're going to be comfortable with while you're in college. The other thing is knowing when you are ready to move on to your next opportunity. I mentioned that there's so many different things you can do in communications, ranging from event planning to social media to working with media and doing interviews and doing strategy. And it's really easy to stay in one role. I was always told growing up that if you get a really good job with a really good company, you want to stay there for the rest of your life. That has really changed. And it's changed so much for public relations and communications, because a lot of the times when you start off, your role is going to focus on one thing and doing it really well. But if you want to be more well-rounded, you have to figure out when you have learned all that you can learn in your current role, and when to start looking for new opportunities so that you have more experience. And so my first role, where I was at for 5 years, I did a lot of work in media. So building relationships with reporters, drafting press releases. But I knew that there was so much more, including social media, strategy, and event planning. And so after a while, I started to seek new opportunities that allowed me to experience that. And so it's important for you to realize when you've learned as much as you can learn in your current role, and when it's time to either ask for more responsibility in your current company or think about going somewhere else. So how do I use my major now? I am using it all the time, every day, because now I own my own marketing firm. And so I service 10 different clients on a variety of different services that range from social media, working with media and reporters, managing their websites, and then just helping them consider strategy when it comes to them launching new products or launching new initiatives that they're going to be offering. It's really great to be in this role now. And, looking back on it, I don't think that I ever anticipated owning my own firm, but there were a lot of things within my major that prepared me for this. And then also going to graduate school, which prepared me for this. Going first to my graduate experience, we at USC were required to take a few courses in entrepreneurship. And all of these courses really focused on helping you think about what goes into launching a company, what are things you need to think about to sustain your company, and how to go after new clients. And so that has helped me tremendously when it comes to thinking about getting new business and finding ways to keep my clients. Going back to my undergraduate experience, the courses that I took when it came to account management and then coming up with a PR strategy or really communication strategy, that has really helped me figure out ways to really position my clients in the best light and then also just prepare them for success. So that has been such a rewarding part of my career to not have to work for anyone but myself. It's really great. I hope you found these tips useful today and really preparing you to understand what to expect if you want to pursue a career in public relations. I, of course, am always around if you ever have questions. I'm happy to give you any advice if you are still trying to figure out if public relations is the right major for you. Thanks again for your time today. See you later.